How is it going today, everybody? It is a beautiful day outside here in Wisconsin, as you can see behind me. Still not bikini weather, but that's okay. I don't look good in a bikini anyway. So, my name is Blaine Newpert. I am going to try and do another video here for you guys so that you guys can learn a little bit about a subject that confuses even the most seasoned coin collectors. It is the difference between true doubling on a doubled die versus machine doubling. And the reason why I want to cover this is there are an awful lot of people out there that tend to think that a machine doubled coin is a true doubled die. So let's start at the very beginning with a quick explanation of what a doubled die actually is. As you can see on your screen in front of you here, a true doubled die is a coin that actually has two of the exact same images on the coin. Now, without getting into a whole bunch of details, there are 9 different classes of double die. We are only going to cover the ones that pertain to the image doubling that you see in front of you here. The image that you see on your screen is what's known as Class 1 rotated hub doubling. Okay, this is the one that has produced the double dies that everybody is familiar with. The 1955P, which are Philadelphia Mint that you see in front of you, the 1969S, the 1972P, the list goes on. But anyway, the point of this is to point out the fact that in order for a doubled die to actually be considered a doubled die, it has to be made that way before it presses coins. All right, so the die needs to be made doubled. That means that a working hub needs to basically press a working die twice in order for it to create a doubled image on that working die. Now, that working die then goes to the coin room, it's put onto a coin press, and it starts making coins. That's where we get a true doubled die. Okay. So now that you understand that in order to get a true doubled die coin, you need to have a die that was stamped twice in order to produce the coin that you're holding in your hand, if that's the case, if you're holding a true double die. What about machine doubling? What is different about machine doubling and why is it not valuable? Okay. The image that's on your screen is a 1959D. It's actually two separate coins. Both coins came from the same die press, the same die, actually, on the same die press. And both coins exhibit what looks like doubling, but it's not. If you look really close, the image on top, the doubling that you see looks different than the doubling on the image on the bottom, but yet these both came from the same die. So if that's the case, they should have the exact same image on them, right? Yeah, that's right. Why don't these have the exact same image on them? Because this is what's known as machine doubling or slide doubling. The best way to explain this is the die that pressed these two coins was not doubled, but when it struck the coin or the planchet that was being held in the press, in the collar, the coin or the planchet slid slightly as it was being struck. When it was struck, that basically means that the image that was on the die created the flat spot that you see on these coins. I'll throw an image up in a minute of what I'm talking about in terms of the fact that it literally looks flat and shelf like. But the thing to remember with these two images that you see is the one that was on the top slid further than the one that was on the bottom. And that's why the two images look different. They exhibit the same general look, but they look different. Now, if you're a roll hunter and you run across a whole slew of these within a roll, it doesn't mean that you have double dies. What it means is there was a loose collar and the coins were sliding around in the coin press, and created what we call machine doubling. Now, this machine doubling can go all sorts of different directions. It can go north, it can go south, it can go east, it can go west, it can go any which direction that there is in order to create this look of double die. Now, the image that you see on your screen right now is a side view image of the same 1959 Denver Lincoln Cents. As you can see, you can plainly see that the image that is supposedly the doubled image is actually just a simple shelf-like appearance. That's from where it slid in the coin press itself. So as you can see, the sun is setting to the west right next to me here, and I am going to take that opportunity to kind of close out this video. But before I do, I am going to cover one last little bit of what people sometimes mistake as doubling. And it's what's known as die deterioration doubling. Now, you can Google that if you need to get better examples of what die deterioration doubling, but I'm going to throw up a couple of images here so that you can see what these look like. And the one that most people are very familiar with is the 1955 Poor Man's doubled die, which isn't really a doubled die. It's just die deterioration, because the image that was created had absolutely nothing to do with a die that was doubled. Okay, so now that we've cleared all of that up, the other images that you'll see here are from 1943D that has some die deterioration going on with it. And you can see that not only are the numbers of the date doubled, but also the mint mark as well. And a lot of people mistake this particular thing that you see in front of you for a repunched mint mark, along with a doubled die on the coin. And that is not the case. It is simply a die that is getting close to the end of its life, if you want to call it such. It's deteriorating to the point at which it can no longer spread the metal correctly and creates these rippled images, if you want to call it such. So I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of detail of deteriorating dies. I'm just simply going to leave you with those few images. I do really appreciate everybody following along with me again today. And hopefully you guys have learned something about the difference between machine doubling and true doubled dies. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, to like, and to keep those notification bells on so that you get notifications when I put out more videos. Have a good afternoon, everybody. See you next time.